One of the biggest reasons that a lot of people talk to me about unhappiness often comes down to one thing: not having something. It affects all of us, and in a way we're kind of conditioned from birth to want things. It's what our cultures are built upon, and it feeds our economy. Now, to be honest, that's fine really. In a standard activity, we want food, we go get it. We want clothes, entertainment, security, and these are all great as long as we can have them. And more importantly, they're the ones that we want. Now, the problem occurs when we start wanting things we can't have, and often we don't need. It's safe to assume that as you're listening to this right now, that you're already in a more privileged position than 2/3 of the population of the planet. It's safe for me to assume that you already have access to clean water, food, clothing and security. Now, our drinking water, it's not likely to harm you when you drink it. In fact, the worst that may happen is it may be a little warm if you don't leave the tap to run long enough. But you do have water, so really, how bad is that? And just as you have access to food, water and security, again, just by the process of listening to this now, you're already taking steps that many people can't or won't. You have access to technology that connects you in an instant to the world. Now, I remember not long ago that for the average person to communicate globally meant lots of stamps and lots of patience. Now we email, and we get frustrated when we don't get an instant reply. We've become spoiled in a way, and because of this we want more and more. But you know what? We actually need less and less. Now, I don't know how old you are. You could be 16 or 64. But whatever age you are, I bet you can think back to a time when you were more satisfied. It could be childhood, it could be 10 years ago, or even last week. We're neurologically programmed to get benefits from having new things. It's hardwired into us from an evolutionary level. The more is good. From there, a saving and a deal is great. And getting something that we really want will give us a really good flood of endorphins that make us feel not only good but great. The problem is, when those endorphins wear off, we're left feeling, well, normal again, and we want that feeling back. You look around and you see other nice things that you want, but you don't need, and the cycle begins again. And like anything that gives us a reward, it can get addictive, driving us to bigger and better things. We're left in a situation where we just focus on what we want and forget about what we have. We spend our energies looking at what we haven't got rather than what we already have and what we actually need. Now, I'm as guilty as most of you. I want more than I need. New clothes, a nice car, the latest gadgets, but I've separated the difference between wanting and needing. When you break down what you really need in life, it becomes a whole lot easier. Grab a pen and a piece of paper and just write down 2 lists. Now, the first list is what you want, but alongside that list, I want you to write down what you actually need. And think about what benefits the need will give you that you can find with a want. And now look at the needs and start finding out how you can achieve these first. You can always build up to the wants later. They become something to aspire to and work towards, because this is another interesting thing about the way our brain works. It rewards us for doing a good job. So no matter what we want, if we get it by hard work, and we get it by working a little bit and a little bit towards it, it becomes a challenge. And if you're working towards it for a year, scrimping and saving and planning, and thinking just how life is going to change when you get it, the more effort you put in earning it, the more rewarding it will be. Because not only that moment that you earn it and you get it will you be rewarded, but you'll be rewarded once again every time you see it or use it. You'll experience that buzz, that reward, that treat from your brain, because you'll have earned it and you'll have worked towards it. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying in any way that it's wrong to want something. It's what helped us to evolve to the state we're in today. But what is important is you do not let your wants overcome your needs, and you just accept that what you want may need to be earned, and if you really want it, then you'll be prepared to wait and work for it. Otherwise, that's just proof that you don't really want or need it at all. So just take 5 minutes to complete the exercise and see what you really want out of life.